guys, it's Dan, and the topic of this week on the TheSaffaCrew is I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to talk about 4 things that I've regretted in my life because that's what life's all about. 2 of which is what people tend to do these days, you know, everyday life. The other 2 is me severely hurting myself. Let's listen. Let us begin. Most of the time, I don't want to get out of bed, and I spend most of my time sleeping. And if there isn't anything to do that day, I will sleep until 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And then think late at night, I should have woken up early. I could have been so much more productive. So those are the things that pass through my mind late at night, and then I promptly do it the next day if I've still got nothing to do. Unless it's school, then I have to wake up bloody early. The second thing is similar to the first, but the inverse of the first. What up? When I stay up until 1 or 2 in the morning because I've got nothing better to do. Generally, most of the time I'm just on the internet. And then I have to wake up at 6:30 for school. And I'm just thinking, I'm never going to bed late again. But then I do the next night anyway. So it doesn't really matter. Now it's the time that you've all been waiting for. It's time for Dan's misfortune. When I was in year 5, I went to a skiing trip with my family to France, and I was a very good skier, I would say, at that stage, because I've done it before. So on the second to last day of the skiing trip, I was in the skiing class, and the instructor said, okay, let's go to a trick park where we can learn a few tricks. And one of them included a trick on a tabletop. And if you don't know what a tabletop is where a ramp goes up, then flattens out, and then goes back down. I was the best at doing this trick in the class, okay? So after lunch, when the class ended, I went with my dad back to the trick park to be able to show him what I did that day. I went full speed down this hill when we arrived, and I just went for the first ramp that I saw. As I get to the top of the ramp, I realized that it's not a tabletop and just a normal ramp. In my mind, I'm just thinking, I shouldn't have done that. I flew, because of the speed I was going, to about 2.5 stories high, according to the people around me when I landed. Because, you know, the slope of the hill and then the ramp and, you know, physics. I fractured my right leg very badly when I landed. What made me feel better when I was lying on the floor with agonizing pain is that all the professionals couldn't even land this ramp. And most of them broke their skis/snowboards that day. Last but not as severe, I went to a friend's house one day and we decided to go swimming in their community pool. And in this pool, they kind of had stepping stones. You had stepping stones where you can walk from one side of the pool to the other without getting yourself wet. But it's in like the middle/shallow end. So it looks something like this. For some reason, I can't remember, I was running from the one side to the other, and my friend splashed the step that I was about to step on, and as I stepped on this, I slipped. I landed on my shin on one of the corners of these stepping stones, and these stepping stones were square and they had very sharp corners. So as I landed, I just felt this sharp pain in my left shin, and it kind of ripped through my leg. And if you wiped away all the blood, or just when I was in the pool, you could kind of see my shin bone and my bone in my leg. So that was quite disturbing. And now I'm left with a permanent scar there. So that's interesting. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like and subscribe to this channel and my main channel if you haven't already. Comment on what your worst injury was in your life, and I'll see you next Wednesday.